In this particular review, the first thing I see is a chart, and they want the equation from us. So what I'm going to have you do is do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ordered pairs. Put them in parentheses. If I have time, I'm going to come back and do this problem. But what you need to do is you need to go to your calculator and you need to hit Stat and Edit, clear out your lists. Okay? And then type all the points inside of there and do that thing. So this is definitely a calculator problem that you can solve using your calculator to pick the right option. Number 2, it says the height of a burning candle during its time is shown in this graph. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to pick out 2 clear points, like this one right here and like this one right here. Okay? So I want you to pick out 0, 8, and I want you to pick out 120, 4. Alright? I want you to put these in your calculator. I want you to get an equation. The y-intercept, what does it represent? Well, it represents the y-intercept is the height, and it's when it's 0, so it's at the height before it's burned. Okay, and so you need to figure out what the height is. Oh, you don't even need, never mind, you don't even have to put this in your calculator. The height is 8 inches, and it's the initial, it's before it's burned, D. You don't even need to put that in your calculator. All right, number 3, a constant rate of change. Let me take a look how you could do this the best way. I know there's a way to do it in your calculator instead of just doing it one by one. Let me think about that one. Let's go to number 4. So number 4, you could also use your calculator on this if you get stuck. Pick out 2 points. So I see a clear-cut point at -1, 1. And I see a clear-cut point at 1 and 5. So use your calculator, get a y equals mx plus b. Now here's the problem. This one's not in y equals. 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 We have to put them each in y equals. So let's do a first. I need to add x to both sides. So I'm going to get 2y equals positive x plus 1.5. These have to be in y equals. Divide by 2. Y equals 1/2 x plus, let's see, 1.5 divided by 2 is 0.75. So if your equation matches A that you get in your calculator, pick A. It shouldn't be A though. Now let's do B. In B, you need to add 1/2 x to both sides to start with. Okay, I'm going to put B over here. So I get positive y equals 1/2 x plus 3. If that doesn't match, if it doesn't match, it's not your answer. So now I'll do C. In C, please subtract 2x from both sides to begin with. So I get negative y equals negative 2x minus 3. And divide by -1 because there's a -1 in front of that y. Get y equals 2x plus 3. I think this one's going to be your answer. Just verify with your calculator. And D, take away 3x from both sides. You get negative 1.5y equals negative 3x plus 0. Divide by negative 1.5. Y equals negative 3 divided by negative 1.5 is 2x plus negative 1.5. So you need to see which one matches. Okay, I do believe that you will get option B, which one that, this one right here. I do believe you will get option C to match. Okay, science collect the data. Which is the best fit? Which line? Well, definitely not D. See how D, the line just goes like straight through it, and this the dots definitely go downwards. I also don't like B. See how there's like more on the top? They should be a balance. I also don't like A because I don't like the fact that there's a whole bunch on top. It should be a best balance that you can possibly get, so that would be C. Number 6, water from a pipe fills at a constant rate. Right there, guys, that means slope. After 10 minutes, there were 30 gallons in the tank. After 25, there were 48. What is the rate? You know what they just did? They just gave you 2 points. They gave you 10, 30, and they gave you 25, 48. Guess what you can do if you have 2 points? You can use your calculator. I mean, you can use your slope formula if you want, but you can also just use your calculator. Stat 1, my lists need to be cleared. 10 and 25 are my x's. 30 and 48 are my y's. The little magic buttons are going to give me 1.2 plus 18, so it's 1.2x plus 18. And it asks me what is the rate. So it's asking me what is the slope. The word rate means slope. So I'm focused on 1.2. So it's 1.2 gallons, which is the y value, over minutes, which is the x. So it is filling at 1.2 gallons a minute. Number 7, you need to solve for y. There's nothing else you can do. You can't use your calculator, okay? You have to know how to solve for y on this one, because they ask what the slope is. So we're going to do 3y equals, we have to minus 5x from both sides. So I get negative 5x plus 9. You have to be able to do this on the Keystones, okay? Divide by 3 the whole way across. Y equals, this does not reduce. You could hit Math 1 enter on your calculator. You get a plus 3 in the back. The slope is negative 5/3. Number 8, Tiana charges a flat rate, a flat fee, that's the y-intercept, plus a certain amount per hour, that's the slope. As shown in this graph, what is her hourly rate? So in other words, they're asking what is the slope. So look at this handy dandy. All I have to do is pick out 2 points. Let's see, I see 120 and I see 350. You can use the slope formula or you can use your calculator. Okay, the slope formula will always work as well. The calculator just saves you from making a mistake. Not exactly the way I would prefer for you to do it, but at the same time, it would be great, to have a way that always works. So why not use your calculator? Okay, I see a slope of 15. So I had y equals, it would be 15x plus 5. Take a look at the calculator, 15x plus 5. The slope is 15, therefore that's her hourly rate. Number 9, dependent, that's the y value. Decreases is the x, so I'm looking at a downward, y is going down, and x is going up. I told you this before, if they're opposite, it's negative. Okay? It's almost like this on a graph. As y is going down, x is getting bigger. So as y is going down, x is getting bigger. That is a negative slope. Opposites are always negative. Which is the equation line passing through these 2 points? Well, this is a perfect problem to plug on your calculator, isn't it? So I'm going to hit Stat, Edit, Clear my lists. Okay, so 4 and negative 2 are my x's. 5 and negative 3 are my y's. Hit the magic buttons on your... I'm sorry, the video froze somewhere, but I put my stuff in my Stat button. And this is the value I got for my slopes and stuff. So I'm going to have y equals 1.3 repeating x plus negative 0.3 repeating y. Definitely B and D are out. Well, 1.3, that's going to be 4/3. Minus 0.3, that's 1/3. So you just have to change these to decimals if you're not sure. Kayla is walking along a road, steady incline. Steady incline. Automatically, I think slope. At 1 p.m., she's an altitude of 250. At a quarter an hour later, she's at 330. What is her rate of increase? That is, they're asking for the slope. Okay, so if we want to make 2 points, we could do that a quarter of an hour later. So we could do 1 o'clock and 2:50, and then a quarter of an hour later is 1.25 and 3:30. And we can use your calculator here. A quarter of an hour later is 1.25. That might be the only thing that trips you up on this one. So 1 and 1.25, 250 and 330. Hit the magic buttons. You should know these, and we get 320 is her slope. Let's take a look at number 12. You know what I'm going to have you do, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2. There's 11 points. Is that right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I'm not going to waste my time because you should know how to do this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Put your 11 points in your calculator and then pick whichever equation works best for it. I know it's not D, but I'm going to let you figure out what it is after there. Put it in your calculator and you will get y equals mx plus b. Pick the one that matches the best. Number 13, snow is falling at a constant rate. That's a slope. Anytime you see constant rate, that means slope. And that's how much it is per hour. So they're just, you know what we could do here? We could just do like y equals 0.5x because it's a constant rate. And like when it doesn't snow, it's not going to have any snow on the ground. So it would be like plus 0. They just want us to like plug in 6 hours. So maybe you just know that by nature. You're just going to do 0.5 times 6 and get b. Okay? So after 6 hours, how much is, you just multiply those together because they're giving you the slope and they're giving you the x. Number 14, fast growing, that thing is rate, that's the rate, that's the slope. If the height was 20 when it was first measured, what is the best model for the height, time? So when it was first measured, it was 20. What is the best linear model for the height as a function of time, where h is in centimeters and t is so function of time? So they want us to do what is the height if the slope is 3 and the beginning value is 20. Okay, you can do that. And look, do they change? Oh, that's mean. They went from 3 millimeters to 20 centimeters. That is really mean. The answer is actually D, because they want us to change this to centimeters. That was not nice. A millimeter into a centimeter, you have to move the decimal. That was not a nice problem. That was very cruel. At 6 a.m. the temperature was 36. At 1 p.m. the temperature was 52. What is the rate of change? That's the slope. You notice this packet's like literally about the slope the whole time. So I'm going to do at 6 o'clock, it was 36. And at 1 p.m., now please don't do 1. 1 p.m. is how many hours later? So we have 7 a.m., there, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m. So it's actually 6, but you have to add 7 hours. We need 13. It's almost like military time. At 13 hours, it was at 52. Okay, so we're going to use our calculator on this one. And we're going to do 6 and 13. Did you see that little trick they pulled on you? Okay, you don't want to put 1 comma 52. That's what's going to happen for some kids. You don't want to put 1 comma 52. You want to put 13 comma 52. So the answer, the slope, is 2.3. Let's do number 16 here. The line of best fit. So what I would personally do is record the new puppy for 14 weeks. So it looks like we have 14 pieces of data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Put this in your calculator. If they require you to show your work, I would literally write the steps down to putting this on your calculator. Okay, so you're going to get a y equals here. And then it wants you to write the, oh, they want you, I'm sorry, they want you to draw the line. We can do that. So you just need to get a straight edge and literally just draw the line that's going to hit about all of the points with a balance a little bit above, a little bit below. Now it says write an equation. That's where you put this. And it says round to 1 decimal place. So that's just the nearest tenth. What is the slope? You should know what the slope is. You know how you're going to get like a y equals mx plus b here. Put the slope here. This is what is the y-intercept. You're going to put the y-intercept as this number right here. You can do that. Just use your calculator. The more I think about number 3, the more I guess I'm just going to have to show you how to do this, okay? So in part A, you see how like from 2 to 5 it increases by 3, 5 to 11 it increases by 6, 11 to 12 it increases by 1, okay? 10 to 19 it increases by 9, 19 to 37, sorry I should know this, it increases by 18, and from 37 to 41 increases by 3. So can you see how like these ones right here, in between, 3 over 9 is a 1/3, 6 over 18 is a 1/3, 1 over 3 is a 1/3. Can you see how all of those are like constant? That's going to be a constant change. And I'm sorry, I just realized I made a really dumb mistake, didn't I? 37 to 41, that's not a 4, or a 3, that's a 4, silly Mrs. Leangeli. So this is actually a rate of change of 1/4. This is not constant. I apologize. 37 to 41 is a 4. So I have 1/3, 1/3, and 1/4. That is not okay. But if you look at B, each time it's up 2, up 2, up 2, up 9, up 9, up 9. That's the only one that actually works. And I tested it on C real quick. And you know 1, 6, like these definitely do not reduce to the same thing. So those ones are out. And D, it's an increase of 2, an increase of 4, an increase of 1, an increase of 0.5, an increase of 1, and an increase of 0.5. Now if you put these on your calculator, they also do not reduce to the same thing. So D cannot be it. B is your answer, number 3. And that, guys, I'm sorry, there's no real shortcut way to do that other than what I did. It's just like finding how much they're increasing and making sure they reduce to the same thing. I got close on A, but not quite.